We will now look at a tool which is called the early qualifier. And the purpose of this tool is to act as a structured approach for qualifying and analysing and assessing different project ideas within the organisation. First thing that needs to be said, this is a suggested set of questions that can be asked in particular situations. It is not by any means, shape or form a mandatory process. It is not a way of running due diligence, which could be an outcome of this in a later stage of the process. It is a way of getting clarity to the quality of a possible opportunity, and a way for you to speak to your colleagues and to yourself about the likelihood of getting budget for a particular project. Okay, so we have a number of questions here. After this description, I will ask you then to go through this list based on the projects that you've just described to me, and simply, and very simply, in 5 minutes or so, just give yourself an answer to these questions. Firstly, which sponsors do we need to engage to ensure the successful running of this project? Do we have relationship to them? Are they easy to get into contact to? Do we have the necessary relationships in order to create the connections to these sponsors? Okay, obviously, if you're saying this is going to be difficult, we never meet these people, we don't have any relationship to them, it's difficult to get meetings with them, then that's an obvious, that's bad news. Yeah. If you say, though, no, it's important, we do need to get access, that can be something that you can always find solutions to. Second question, yeah, and they're not in any particular order. All of these questions can kill your opportunity. All of these questions can show that your opportunity is a critical one to focus on. What level of change do you expect? Imagine that the project that you're speaking about gets through to the stage where you're able to implement it. What level of personal change do you expect from the organization to make it work or not? And this question really is, are you going to need to go into a protracted consulting stage in order to make this particular project work? Yeah, because that gives us a lot of insight into the value of the opportunity and to the complexity of the opportunity in actually making it work at the end. Okay, just as an example, this table over here is speaking about a project to create online jour fixes between sales and administration people. I expect an extremely high level of change to make that work in any organization that I've worked with so far, to the extent where I would suggest that without knowing anything further about the project, it won't work. But that's a joke at the moment. We'll actually see what it looks like when we get down to the nitty-gritty. Where do we get the budget? Yeah, very important question, obviously, right? Do we get it through the process? Do we anticipate that we're going to get to step 4 and be able to fight and lobby for the budget within the terms of the IT demand management process itself? Or is this one of these projects where already we can say, we're never going to get this budgeted? When Global comes along and ditches our budget by 50%, this is going to be one of the projects that is going to fall. So within this context, where do we get the budget? If we're not going to get it from the official place, is there somewhere else that we can get it from? And this will relate to other questions further on down the line. So the answer to this is going to be, we don't know. This person definitely. These people, but they may not give it. We would have to go officially. Yeah? And we'll give you a very clear indication on what the budget question will be. So, question number 5, arguably the most important question. The compelling reason to act. What is this? Does anybody need to go to the toilet? No?
No.
Anybody need to go to the bathroom, to the toilet? No? No, good. You're all good at the moment. You can wait a while. Anna, could you lock the doors, please? Your compelling reason to go to the bathroom will now begin to rise. Yeah? In 1 hour, a couple of people will be a little bit uncomfortable. In 2 hours, the ladies will be distressed, the guys will be walking around like this. In 3 hours, there'll be a dead Englishman in the corner of the room, the window will be smashed, and there will be a funny smell in the room. The compelling reason to take action will have got to the stage where action will have been taken. So this is a critical question. What happens if they do nothing? What's the consequence of no project? What happens if they do not? What's the result? What's the impact? What's the consequence of no action? The stronger this is, the stronger your argument. Yeah? Then, opportunity cost. How much will this project cost us? How much time will it take? How much resource? How much budget? How much will it cost to us as an IT function? But maybe more importantly, how much will it cost them? What level of work will they need to put into this project in order to make it work? That's a good question. Yeah, most business people completely underestimate the amount of work that they have to put into IT projects in order to make them work effectively. Yeah, simple statement of fact. Okay, a global statement. Demand fit, no, sorry, not a global one, a local one. Demand fit to the local top 10 initiatives. Every local organisation has a set of initiatives which are important for them at any one particular stage of the fiscal year. How does this particular demand fit in to the top 10 initiatives? Yep, very important question for local decision making. At the bottom here, we've got demand fit to the buyer global strategy. Yeah? Does this request or demand or project fit in on a global level? This again can be a very clear decision for a yes or a no, or a move forward or a not move forward. Yeah? Past and future brand performance. Obviously, if you're working with a brand manager who's working on a brand which is a blockbuster, which is selling well, which everybody is buying, which has got a lot of momentum and is very popular, then the question of budget, yes or no, is going to be easier than working with a brand that is in its decline. It's going to peter out or go disappear within 5 years' time, and the focus and energy is going away from it. Yeah? So past and future brand performance is another relevant and legitimate question. And finally, and definitely the most important, is what is the business case? The question that can answer all of the other questions. What is the return on investment? And the return on investment is described in an absolutely crystal clear way. If we spend 3,000 euros on this project, how much will we get in return after 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the ROI analysis says? Okay? Where is the return going to come from? So this could be in terms of a specific return on investment analysis. It could be in the form of a business case. What is the level of return that we are expecting on this investment? A difficult question, but the one that answers all of the others in some cases. Okay? Some tough questions, right? So, from the perspective of the IT demand manager, if you're in an extremely tough conversation, then here are some extremely tough answers. Yeah? From the legitimate perspective of the IT demand manager, my perspective is very clear. Buyer has given the organization a brief, and the IT demand management function has been briefed to make sure its organization is making good IT decisions. Good IT decisions are supported by people who want projects to succeed. Good IT decisions are budgeted accordingly so that we know why we're spending the money and we know where the return is going to come from. Good IT decisions have reasons for existing. They're there to solve problems, and problems get solved. They're easy to measure afterwards, or they're measurable in terms of their effect. Yeah? And good IT decisions fit with strategy and whatever the current business strategy is, either from a specific global or from a global level, or from both. Okay? The opportunity assessment process, or the early qualifier, is called because we want to ask quality questions early in the process. Yeah? To avoid making bad decisions, and to make sure that when good decisions are made, they're made with all of the relevant information. It's also used in a situation where you need to give somebody some bad news, and to tell one of your business owners, I'm sorry, no, it's not going to happen for the following reasons. Which reasons are there going to be? Because they'll normally come from here. And it's also to be very clear within your own internal environments which projects are being focused on and why at any specific case in time. So, do you know the sponsors that you need to engage? Yep. Yes. You know them? Do you have relationship to them?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a plus. Mm-hmm. Okay? What level of change do you expect? High? Low?
High. Low. I would say low.
Yeah.
I would say low.
Jour fixe? Online jour fixe? Over new devices?
No.
Online jour fixe. Do they do online jour fixe at the moment?
They try. That's the problem.
They try.
They try. Sometimes they can do it, sometimes not really.
Okay. It's a high level of behavioral change.
Mm.
Yeah?
Okay.
Behavioral change. Working practices. Yeah? It's very high level of behavioral change. There are 300 reps. For 10 of them, no change at all. They'll be ahead of the game. For 80 of them, massive change. They'll hate it. Yeah? For the rest, they'll be somewhere in the middle. Where do you get the budget? If it does not get budgeted in step 4, do you have an idea of where you can get the money? Yes or no? Sounds like a no to me. No.
Now we have to go through legal stuff.
Has to go through, yeah. Well, it's not a question of legal or illegal. It's a question of, if I can't get the money, can you get the money? And if the answer is no, yeah? If the answer is no, in all honesty, we can probably stop here. Yeah? But we won't. Yeah? We'll pretend there is light at the end of the tunnel. Is there a compelling reason to act? What happens if they do nothing?
They are selling the wrong products, so they are promoting the wrong stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, this situation is not sustainable.
Okay, so the situation is not sustainable,
No.
right?
And
But-
that could actually support the former point, the one with the budget.
Yes.
They have to do something. If IT can bring a solution, they're very likely to start traveling again, and that will bring higher costs. Okay?
Okay. Aha. So if they don't do anything, they will begin traveling again.
Yes.
Right.
That will increase costs.
Yeah? Okay. Opportunity costs we've already discussed. Relatively high from a business perspective. The only way in which opportunity cost for them could be changed from being high to low is if you could compare it against a potential return on investment, which would be much higher than the opportunity cost that is there.
Okay.
Yeah? Demand fit. Does the demand fit with the local top 10?
Currently, no.
No. Okay. Has anybody discussed return on investment?
Well, this isn't a problem, but yes.
Okay.
This is basically what we have to do.
Okay.
Compare hotel costs and traveling costs against enabling some technology in order to do this.
Good. Okay. Right. So, past and future brand performance, that's not relevant in this particular case. Demand fit to the buyer global strategy?
I would say yes. Okay, we're actually using global product and global alignment towards having single device and
Okay.
corporate device for an iPad and stuff like this. So yes, we're basically using all the global tools as we're supposed to, but going this direction has led us to this problem in particular.
Aha.
Okay?
Okay. So, actually using the global fit has led you to a behavior change problem. So, yeah. Okay. As an outsider, I would say definitely the next stage would be putting the business case discussion on the table and saying, quite frankly, if we don't have a decent business case for this, there's no way that we'll get it budgeted. Yeah? However, what I've been hearing is that the situation is such that behavior change is getting in the way of productivity. The tools exist, but people are unable or unwilling to use them in the correct way. Yeah? Which means somebody hasn't done their job of leading the change successfully. Which means there is a consulting discussion that needs to happen with the sponsors who are responsible for leading the change. It's an extremely uncomfortable discussion because effectively it says, we don't think we should need to help you in this situation. We think the technology is already there. It simply needs to be used in the correct way. Which means it's not our problem, it's your problem. Would you like us to help you solve the problem that you've created for yourselves without spending any money? Yeah? And that is a movement, an interesting movement, because now we go into step 5, potentially, into creating. No, we don't. We don't go into step 5 of an IT demand management process because we're not creating a new IT solution to fit a particular business problem. What we are doing, though, is we're putting on the table our abilities to consult an IT demand problem and thereby help the business work with their existing IT in a more effective way. But I'm glad I don't have your problem.
Success department colleagues will use that, and they're pretty aware of the procedure,
Okay.
just the localization.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
I just want to remark something. In buyer, it's a medium level of change, but in government authorities, it's a big change.
Aha. Okay. So for them, for your end client, if you call the government your end customer, they would have to do a lot of change in order to
Understand.
understand.
They won't directly use the system.
Yeah.
Our colleagues will show the results, but
Yeah.
it will take time for them to understand the results, the whole logic behind. So it's a huge change on government authorities.
Is this a compliance topic?
Of course, should be checked, but it's globally used one. I'm not pretty sure that.
What I'm saying is that will there be a problem with the budget?
No, actually not. If pharma can make a budget for it, no.
Aha.
Pharma should pay it.
Aha.
Market access department doesn't have a separate budget for it.
Right. Okay.
So if they have to give a go or no go decision, pharma has to decide. But
And?
market access will use.
Right.
But in the end,
Mhm.
pharma will take the advantage of it because the products are pharma products.
Okay. Compelling reason to act? What?
Compelling reason to act, actually increasing the reimbursement acceptance and
So-
make it a faster procedure during launch and reimbursement.
So if they don't localize the information,
No,
will it have a big impact?
I'm not pretty sure now because
Okay.
they are living without this project now.
So it's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somehow projects are going, products are launching.
Yeah.
It will of course have a positive effect, but now they are it's nice to have.
Okay.
But we should give all the results of this nice to have.
Okay. Yeah. So opportunity cost from a. So you've already said that for them, for the government, it would be a large opportunity cost in understanding and changing the way that they work. For you, for IT.
For IT, we will be involved in just for the localization and testing part.
Yeah. Okay.
After than that, I don't expect so many supports because these programs are specialized for products.
Okay. Mhm.
Whenever a new product comes, means new project.
Okay. Does it fit with the total, with the top 10 local top 10 local business strategies?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a return on investment analysis?
And not now.
Past and future brand performance is not necessary. Demand fit to by a global strategy?
Because
Yeah.
it's already ongoing global project and we want to localize it.
Okay. Do you have global sponsors as well as local sponsors?
No.
Okay.
For now, just local. It's for now on the local level.
Okay. So recommendations would be relatively clear. Number one, really understanding the compelling reason. Number two, finding global sponsors or speaking to the local sponsors and saying, how do we start approaching global sponsors in order to, make sure the budget question has a global go ahead. Yeah. And I think that would be clear as the next action step.
Yeah, and then ROI.
It's going to be very difficult to calculate it. Yeah. Which means I think it's one of those, with nice to have opportunities, it depends on the total cost of it at the end. But if it's not too great, then somebody is going to say, shall we do it? Yes or no. Yeah. And if it comes from a specific budget, which is not yours, then it doesn't come into the specific IT demand management process. If they've got the money for it, great.
Okay.
Yeah. And but I think your direction on it should be pretty clear from your own perspective, asking these questions and finding other sponsorship.
Okay.
Okay. Final project. Do you have the sponsors?
Yes.
You do. What level of behavioral change do you anticipate from the project? High? Very high?
Very high, yes, because it's aligned. This project is aligned to a strategic initiative that it's named Marketing and Sales Transformation.
Okay. Marketing and sales transformation. Very high behavior change attached to it. Budget, is this something that would come from?
50% is approved by regional LATAM
Yep.
business, and it was approved.
Yep.
Also was included in the peace approach of budget 2015 that we sent, and the other 50% has to be approved by the local sponsor.
Okay, so it's not been approved yet.
No.
No.
That's complete.
Compelling reason to act. What happens if nothing happens?
Yes, because it's a solution focused on a specific customer segment of the market,
Yeah.
where the business has been lost 5% of market share.
Okay.
They want to recover at least 1% of market share by year.
Okay. So a direct target to recover 1% of market share per year
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Contribute. This solution will contribute to the recovery.
Okay, good. Opportunity cost, high or low?
Is a low cost. And
Okay.
it's going to be included in our gatekeeper 19.
Okay, yeah. So the actual work that is involved in getting this opportunity off the ground, how much work would you have to put in, high or low?
Sorry.
How much work for you?
Your personal effort.
Your personal effort?
Effort?
Yeah.
My personal effort?
Yeah.
Oh,
High.
10% is low.
Good, okay. So this does fit to local?
Yes.
Yeah. It fits global?
Global, yes.
Yeah.
It's aligned to a global concept that is named must-win battles.
Must win backs.
Yes.
Okay, so past and future brand performance is interesting, but
Yes,
not
we
necessary.
We don't know if I don't know if it's related to a specific brand,
Yeah.
but else and to a specific customer segment.
Okay, and
Business case is not yet. It's the opportunity to complement the analysis.
okay, great, super. Thank you very much.